we will be recording the session, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
Thank you all so much for joining us this morning. We're really excited to go through an overview of the upcoming World Pitch Summit so that you have a sense of what to expect and we can answer any questions that you might have in advance of the World Pitch Summit. So I did want to start by introducing ourselves. I'm here with Cristal Mojica, who is the Technovation coordinator. She'll be on the chat, so if you do have any questions and you want to just write them in the chat box while we're going along, Cristal will be happy to answer those. And I'll be sort of verbally answering any questions, so also feel free to just shout them out and we can work things out that way. But my name is Allie Holmes. I'm the Events and Engagement Director at Technovation. So I have the pleasure of putting on the World Pitch Event every year for the program. I also run some of our smaller events here in the Bay Area, like our regional pitch events, our workshops, and things like that. And I also manage the mentor community, so supporting that group of people in supporting our Technovation teams as best as possible. So that's a little bit about me. I'll throw it over to Cristal.
Hi everyone, I'm Cristal Mojica. You've been receiving a flurry of emails from me. I'm the program coordinator and I help the team with just day-to-day operations, and right now most of my time is dedicated to preparing for World Pitch. And I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you in a few weeks.
Great.
Cool. Could each of you just introduce yourselves briefly and how you're related to the finalist teams?
I can go first. This is Diana Quintal, and we're the Bay Area team, Team Savvy, and I am the team's coach and also mentor. There's one other mentor on the team that will not be joining us.
Great. Thank you, Diana.
Maybe I can go. Hi, my name is Stephanie Jacroix from Montreal. I'm the regional ambassador for the chapter Technovation in Montreal. And so we have a team of two young girls in the fridge who will be in San Francisco, and we're also coming with the two mentors, Vanessa Cherenfant and Marilyn Toen.
Fantastic. Thank you, Stephanie. I think that's all on the call right now, so unless there's anyone else. Okay, great. So we'll go ahead and get started. The basic agenda for today is to talk about our plans for the week of the World Pitch Summit. I'll give you some key reminders to keep in mind before and during the World Pitch Summit. I'll review the dress code with you, and then we can answer any questions that you might have. But definitely feel free to shout out if you have any questions along the way. I'm happy to answer them as we go. So here's a brief overview of the week. On Monday, teams will be arriving and we'll do a brief orientation at Autodesk in San Francisco. On Tuesday, we'll go on a tour of San Francisco and the girls will have the opportunity to practice their pitches with a pitch presentation coach. So they'll get some really nice feedback and the opportunity to sort of see what the other teams are bringing to the table. Then we'll be going to Twitter. And then after that, we'll head back to the hotel and teams will have additional free time to just hang out and relax or potentially work on their posters and pitch presentations. On Wednesday, we'll be visiting Facebook and Microsoft. The girls will have some free time in the afternoon to just do any final prep they might want to do ahead of the pitch competition. And then we'll head over to Intuit for the pitch competition. And then on Thursday, we have award ceremony practice in the morning, then followed by the World Pitch Conference and the award ceremony. And then Friday, we'll have a final appreciation breakfast back at Autodesk, and then everyone will go home. So that's kind of your brief overview of the week to give you a sense of what we'll be doing. It's going to go by fast, so just really encourage the girls to sort of make the most of all of their time here, and make as many connections and contacts as they can during the visits and time. So now I'll go into a little bit more depth on each of the days to give you a sense of what to expect. So we'll have Technovation staff at the San Francisco airport ready to greet the teams. We'll have all of your arrival times, and we'll do our best to make ourselves obvious. We'll have signs. We're also considering giving each team a sign so that together we can find each other a lot more easily. And then the Technovation staff will help guide the teams to find the Super Shuttle, which they'll be taking to the hotel, the Executive Inn and Suites in Oakland. And then we'll also have Technovation staff at the hotel to greet the teams. They'll have just sort of a little welcome packet, which reviews the week. And then teams will have time to just rest. We'll also have the poster boards available, so don't feel like you need to travel with the trifold board. Diana, since your team is local, feel free to make that ahead of time, but you don't have to. We're just encouraging teams to put together the materials for their poster board so they're all ready to go, and really all they have to do is glue it onto the big trifold boards. And we'll have the trifold boards and markers and tape available for teams to put those together.
Ali, have a question. So when officially does the exhibition start? So do they have everything? So the exhibition will be on already on Tuesday, or is it on Wednesday?
The exhibition will be on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's not a ton of time for the girls to put together their posters, so I definitely encourage you to try to do it, sooner rather than later.
Okay, so at this point, will they have to stay around beside their board, or at what time do they have to be there, and then people will gather and ask questions? Is there a specific time on Wednesday and Thursday?
Yeah, I'll get to that in more detail once we get to the Wednesday
okay.
schedules. This is just the time to put their poster board together. And then we'll also have time from 2 to 4. I know Cristal asked for representatives from each team to be interviewed on video. So we'll have some of the girls scheduled for interviews that afternoon on Monday, depending on your...
Okay.
Cool.
Ali, will the interviews only happen on that Monday afternoon, or will they be happening at other times?
No, they'll be happening at other times as well.
Okay, great. Because one of my girls, the girl that's going to be interviewed, isn't arriving till that evening.
Okay, yeah, that's not a problem. We'll definitely coordinate based on your travel schedules.
Perfect.
I think we have 3 or 4 slots for the interviews. So. Then at 4 o'clock, we'll gather at the hotel and we'll ride the bus together to Autodesk. At that point, make sure to bring your hometown tokens because we'll be distributing them to the other teams that evening. At 5 o'clock, we'll have the orientation with the girls at Autodesk. We'll do a quick tour of their office. We'll do an overview of the week, kind of very similar to what we're doing now, and a team building activity. The girls will distribute their token gifts, and then we'll draw names for the pitch schedule. So just to make sure that it's very fair across the board, the girls will just draw the order of their pitches from a hat, and then that will be the schedule for the pitch competition on Wednesday.
Okay.
And then at 7:30, we'll depart for the hotel. Any questions about Monday?
Yes. Is there a dinner that's scheduled, or do we go and have dinner? Because I know the parents will be there. So do we go out with them for dinner, or is there a moment where everybody gets together on Monday?
Yeah, there'll be dinner for the girls at Autodesk.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, from that 5 to 7:30 period, we'll have dinner.
Okay.
There's not a lot of space at Autodesk, so that orientation will be limited to just the teams and chaperones. And then I'll indicate sort of during the schedule when other family and friends can join the teams. So on Tuesday, the 12th, we're going to ask all of the teams to wear their Technovation t-shirt. So we have sort of this unified presence as we go around Silicon Valley. Breakfast will be from 7 to 8:30 at the hotel. And then we'll depart on the bus at 9 o'clock for our San Francisco tour. At 12:30, the tour will sort of wrap up at Fisherman's Wharf, Pier 39. So family and friends are definitely welcome to join us there. We'll have lunch for the girls. The family and friends will need to get their own lunches, but the girls will be there from 12:30 to 1:30, so that might be a nice time to just explore Fisherman's Wharf, which has kind of fun touristy shops. There are sea lions and Ghirardelli Square, where the Ghirardelli factory is or used to be. So there's just fun things to kind of explore in that area. And then at 1:30, all of the girls will get back on the bus to depart for the Microsoft Reactor space, where we'll be practicing their pitches that afternoon. So we have Coach Nathan Cole, who will be providing feedback and ideas and advice to the girls on their pitches. And from 2 to 4, we'll run through all of their pitches. He'll provide sort of feedback to each of the teams, so that they feel really set up and ready to go for the actual pitch presentation, which will happen on Wednesday.
Okay.
For the t-shirt, are they getting new t-shirts or should they bring their regional pitch t-shirts?
Yeah, we'll be providing new World Pitch t-shirts.
Got it. Okay.
And the finalist teams have their own special color even, so it should be kind of nice for them. Then at 4 o'clock, we'll depart for Twitter. At 4:30, we'll have our visit at Twitter. They did a really, really awesome panel last year. They're doing a similar thing this year, where they have their like women in tech talking to the girls. They gave really awesome advice for their pitches and sort of just general things to consider in terms of a potential future career in tech. And it was nice and catered to both the middle school and high school audience. So I think that'll be really nice. And then Twitter is providing dinner that night. So then after that Twitter visit around 6 o'clock, we'll leave to go back to the hotel, and the teams will have free time that evening to practice or just relax and hang out at the hotel.
Ali, I just have one question. When you say the practice pitches, family and friends can meet, so they can attend the practice pitch. Is that what I understand?
Yep, that will be fine. We'll be at the Microsoft Reactor space at 680.
Okay.
So they can meet us there and watch as the teams practice.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. I forgot to mention that. Okay, so Wednesday, we have a pretty packed schedule. We have a really early start on Wednesday. We'll be leaving the hotel at 7:30. And teams at that point will want to bring their posters for the App Expo and any clothes that they want to change into for the pitch competition, because we won't be going back to the hotel after 7:30 a.m. So we'll need to definitely plan ahead and make sure that they have all that stuff before we leave for the South Bay. So at 7:30, we'll depart the hotel for Facebook. The good news is that Facebook is also providing breakfast for the girls, so they don't necessarily have to eat ahead of time, but they can. It's included in our stay at the hotel. So if they want to grab breakfast from 7:30, they can. Otherwise, they can wait until the Twitter tour and breakfast later in the day, but breakfast might not take place until maybe 9:30. So they might want a snack before that. So we'll have a tour of Facebook. And we'll have a tour of Facebook. They'll have breakfast, and then they'll go through a workshop with the founders of WoGrammar, who are Facebook employees, and they'll talk to the girls about telling your story and how to have a strong sort of presence and owning the brand and all of that good stuff. They're really, really good. So we're excited to offer that to the girls. At 11, we'll leave Facebook for Microsoft. 11:30, we'll get to Microsoft. We'll go on a tour there. We'll have lunch there with some of their female tech professionals, and then they'll take us through a workshop that afternoon. And then at 2 o'clock, the finalist teams will stay at Microsoft, and again, we'll have some downtime for them. We found the teams kind of appreciate having more time to just practice and relax and prepare for the evening rather than sort of doing too much that afternoon. We'll also be doing some student interviews during that time from 2 to 4. Then at 3:30, 4 o'clock, we'll leave Microsoft to go to Intuit for the pitch competition. At 4:30, we'll arrive at Intuit. The teams will set up for their app expo. We want to make sure they eat dinner ahead of the event start at 5:30 so that they're ready to go and not, eating food while they're trying to talk with judges. So they'll get set up, they'll eat dinner, sort of relax and get ready for the start of the event. At 5:30, the World Pitch Competition will begin. That's where family and friends will join us there. And then 5:30 to 6:30 will be the opportunity for the judges to visit each team display and demo their apps. And so I just really wanted to highlight that this is the time when the team should be demoing sort of the technical side of their apps to make sure that the judges have tried them out and they understand the UI, UX, and have a sense for how the app actually functions. And then the pitch will be more focused on the business side and the ideation side of the app.
So how much time can the girls expect with the judges?
It'll be pretty similar to the regional pitch event. So they'll have probably 5 to 6 minutes with the judge. So they'll have to make sure that they, make good use of that time and make sure that the judge understands the functionality. And we'll have 6 judges, and they'll be sort of walking around to all of the booths. So we want to make sure that the girls talk to at least 3 of them throughout that time from 5:30 to 6:30.
Okay. And so for the World Pitch Competition, I guess you don't mingle the primary and high school level. Do you have the primary or middle school? Sorry, because I'm thinking in Canada. So do you have the middle school division pitch before the high school division pitch? So how will it happen?
Yeah, so at 6:30 we'll start the World Pitch Competition. And we'll have the 4 middle school teams pitch first, and then the 4 middle school teams will pitch first, and then the 6 high school teams will pitch second. So we'll start with a general welcome. Thank you to our sponsor. Our keynote that evening will be Anu Tari, who is actually the founder of Technovation. So I think that'll be really neat for the girls to hear from her about how and why she started Technovation. The judges will introduce themselves briefly so the girls get a sense of who the judges are. Then we'll go right into the middle school pitches. Each team will have 4 minutes to pitch in front of the judges. It's not like right at 4 minutes we're gonna yank them off the stage, but they'll need to stick within 10 seconds, 10 to 20 of the 4 minutes. And then they'll have 2 minutes of question and answer with the judges, and then I'll just interview them with some sample questions for 2 minutes so that the judges have the time to write down their scores and any feedback and thoughts they have for the team.
So you have the 4-minute pitch, then the 2-minute of question period with the judge, and then a 2-minute interview with you.
Exactly, yeah. But the interview is much more casual. Okay. It should be fun and relaxing and not stressful for the girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. And then we'll do a quick closing, and then we'll all head back to the hotel on the bus around 9 o'clock. So some key things to keep in mind: the teams need to pitch in English, since all of our judges Their language is English. But if you need an interpreter for the question and answer session, please let us know. We're definitely happy to, since that's a little bit less planned, we're definitely happy to let the teams use an interpreter for the questions and to answer those questions. Prior scores in the competition don't count, so we won't be taking into account scores from the quarterfinals or the semifinals. All teams will start at 0. And then just to reiterate, please make sure that the teams use the App Expo time to demo their apps, and then use the pitch to talk more about their ideation and their business plan.
Okay, Ali, I tried to get the scores about all our teams, but I just couldn't have access to it. Would it be possible? I don't know. I don't want to take the time right now, but I don't know if anyone can either email me or contact me just so I can have the scores for the team, so I know what they have to focus on, because I tried to get access to it, but I couldn't.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we can follow up with more information on that to you.
Okay, perfect.
Cool. Okay, so on to Thursday. Thursday is also a big day. We'll have breakfast at 8 a.m. at the hotel, and we'll leave the hotel at 9 a.m. for the University of San Francisco. Again, the girls should bring their posters and any clothes that they'll want for the award ceremony. We'll arrive at USF around 10 a.m., at which point we'll go through the award ceremony run through, so the girls have a sense of how they'll be entering and what, like, the flow of how they'll be doing their pitches for that evening. So each team will practice running through the ceremony, and then during the award ceremony, they're just going to do an abbreviated version of their pitch, no more than 2 minutes, just talking about, their idea, the problem that they're solving, their solution to that problem, and sort of why they think it's a really important solution, why they think it's a good one. At 11 a.m., we'll have the World Pitch Conference, and this is when friends can join us again. We'll start off with lunch and networking from 11 to 11:45. Then from 12 to 1, we'll have our first workshop session. We have some really awesome workshops. There's a Women in Tech panel. There's an Adobe workshop. There's a virtual reality workshop. There's a workshop, a design workshop, Python workshop. There's a lot of really cool things for the girls to do during that time. So we'll have workshop session 1 from 12 to 1, workshop session 2 from 1:15 to 2:15. Then we have Drew Houston, who's the CEO and co-founder of Dropbox. He'll be providing a keynote question and answer session with the girls from 2:30 to 3:15, which should be really fun. Then 3:15 to 4, we'll have sort of a debrief of the conference. We'll have the girls fill out surveys, and we'll do a closing. Then from 4 to 5, we'll have some downtime for the girls, just really like fun social time. We'll have cookies, there'll be music, they'll just kind of like hang out and, have fun with each other. And then we also do a couple of student interviews during that time as well. Then from 5 to 5:30, the teams will set up their displays for the App Expo for the award ceremony, and they'll eat dinner during that time. Again, we want to make sure that they eat ahead of 5:30 so that they're all set and ready to go and demo their apps from 5:30 to 6:30.
Okay.
So the schedule for Thursday will work pretty similar to the pitch competition. From 5:30 to 6:30, we'll have the App Expo and refreshments. The finalists and the visiting teams will be displaying and demoing their apps. So it'll be the visiting teams. We have 7 teams that are visiting in addition to the finalist teams. So they'll also be displaying their apps during the App Expo. And we're going to have what we are calling the People's Choice Award. So guests will have the opportunity to vote on the app that they think has the most innovative solution, and then we'll be awarding a People's Choice Award to whichever app has the most votes at the end of the evening. and that will be available to both the finalists and the visiting teams.
Okay.
Then from 6:30 to 8:30, we'll have the pitch presentations and award ceremony. We're planning to do a sort of country march, I'm calling it, where we have all of the girls, and we also have, I don't know if I told you all already, but we have the finalist teams, we have the 7 visiting teams, we have 35 master educators from around the world, and then we have 15 student ambassadors from around the world who will be participating at the World Pitch Summit. So we have about 127 people representing Technovation from 26 different countries. So we're hoping to have each country sort of parade into the award ceremony with their flag and delegation all together. And then we'll have one representative from the country go up to the front of the room with their flag, so we have a really, cool visualization of all of the people who are represented at the event. And then we'll have that.
Does that mean that we need to bring our flag?
We're going to be purchasing the flags, so don't worry.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Cristal, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering, this order in which we are going to present, right, at the pitch, is it pre-decided or is this going to be random?
Sorry, the order?
Yeah, the order. So is there a pre-decided order, or are we going to decide at that point?
Yep, great question.
During the raffle or something?
On Monday night, we are going to have the girls pick out of a hat a number, and that will determine the order of the pitches, just so that it's completely random and we're not providing favor to any team over.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So we'll do the country march, we'll take a photo, the MC will welcome everyone to the event. The CEO of Technovation and Iridescent will do a welcome and overview of the program for people who aren't aware of Technovation, who are present. And then we'll have each of the 10 teams provide their shorter pitch, and then they'll just take one question from the MC that evening. And in the background, the girls won't have a presentation necessarily. I'm just planning to do their team photo on the screen as they come up to the stage, and then we'll have their app logo on the presentation slide. So no need to prepare.
Ellie, for the two.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. For the 2-minute pitch, they don't use slides. They don't use slides for that. They just speak for a couple of minutes about the app.
Exactly. Yeah.
Their
we'll
idea.
just have the one slide with their app logo in the back, and then they'll just speak for 2 minutes. They don't need to prepare any additional slides. Great question.
Okay, and then you're preparing their slide with the app logo, or do we do that?
I'll prepare that.
Okay, perfect. Thank
Okay.
you.
So then we'll have the keynote by Debbie Sterling, who's the CEO of Goldie Blocks. And then we'll actually have the award ceremony. So the MC will be announcing the middle school and the high school finalists. We'll announce the People's Choice Award winner, and we'll announce an award for ambassadors. And then the ceremony will come to a close. We'll play music. It'll be fun and festive. And then we'll have a little, reception to follow. And then at 9 o'clock, we'll load on the bus to depart for the hotel. And then the girls will want to pack up that evening so that they're ready to go first thing the next morning. So on Friday, we'll depart the hotel for the Autodesk Gallery at 8 a.m. The girls don't need to eat breakfast ahead of time. We'll provide breakfast at Autodesk, but they'll want to pack all of their bags on the bus. We'll not be going back to the hotel after breakfast. So at 9 o'clock, we'll arrive at the Autodesk Gallery. We'll be participating in a reflection appreciation breakfast. So we'll have some activities that provide the opportunity for the girls to appreciate other teams and sort of share their reflections on the week, what they learned, what we might maybe also giving us some feedback on what we can do differently while it's fresh in their memory for the next world pitch. And then at 11 a.m., all the finalists and the visiting teams will depart for the airport. Any questions on Friday or Thursday?
No, I think we are good.
No. Yeah, it's good.
Great. So that's it for the schedule for the week. Some things to remember before the event. Cristal has been sending a bunch of emails with requests, so thank you so much for your patience and quick replies on those. But just a friendly reminder that by Friday, we'll need all of the food allergies and dietary restrictions that your team might have. We'll need a name of a representative from your team for the video interview. We'll need your team song and your team photo. So those are all by Friday. And then by July 6th, we'll be sending out a release form, a liability release form for all of the girls to sign virtually. You can sign it online. So we'll just need that signed by all of the girls' parents by July 6th. We'll also need all of your final PowerPoint slides that the girls are planning to use alongside their by July 6th. And we'll need a 1 to 2 sentence introduction for the team to be read as they come up to the stage. So if you could send that along. And then we'll also be sending out a survey for the girls to select their workshops for the conference next week. So we'll need all those by July 6th. Please have all family and friends who will be participating in the World Pitch Summit register for the pitch competition, the conference, and the award ceremony. We've sent out the complimentary code, so we'd love to, invite everyone to use the code. They are a family and friend.
And Ali, I have a question regarding this because one of the parents, they didn't realize that they had a promotional code, so they paid for those activities. Is there a way that they can be reimbursed and then register again?
Yes, if you send us the name of that individual, we can work on a reimbursement.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then also, please remind your teams to bring warm layers. I know it's California and it seems really warm, but sometimes the San Francisco Bay Area can be pretty cool with, breezes off of the bay and the ocean. So definitely make sure that everyone brings a jacket and some warm layers. Hopefully the weather is really nice and beautiful, but just want to make sure that you have those warm layers just in case. Don't forget your hometown tokens. We're asking everyone to bring one for each girl of the finalist teams. I think there are 34 total. And that's just a small representation from your home country. Do not spend more than $1 or $2 on it for each of the girls.
Okay, so it's kind of a souvenir that represents our city. So and it's to give. So it's like an exchange. They will all exchange their token.
Exactly. Yep.
So they need to buy 34.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Perfect.
Great.
Okay.
And then don't forget any adapters that you might need for plugs and any mobile devices that you might need to demo apps during the App Expo. If you do need any help with that, let us know and we can see what we can do to support you with that. So those are all the pre-event
Okay.
Then at the event, just a reminder, we'll have poster supplies available on Monday at the hotel. That includes the trifold posters, markers, glue, tape for you to use. But please prepare anything that you want to, put on the poster, anything you need printed ahead of time or, designed ahead of time. Bring all of those things prepare that ahead of time and bring them with you, and then we can just glue them on Monday, just to make that process a little bit easier for you in the moment. You'll want to bring the prepared poster with you on Wednesday morning when we leave the hotel so that they'll have that for the App Expo on Wednesday night. In terms of food coverage, just want to be clear that all participants will need to cover the cost of their own breakfast and lunch on July 11th, that Monday that they're coming in. But Technovation will be providing meals for all other meals on July 11th through breakfast on July 15th. So just wanted to be clear on that. Please wear all finalist teams and people accompanying them will receive a name tag. So please be sure to wear that to all events throughout the week so that we can identify everyone as part of the group. When you're exploring the city of San Francisco or Oakland, just please be aware of your belongings. It's generally a pretty safe place, but it's just important that, I don't know, we wouldn't want anything bad to happen. So just please be aware of your items and, holding things that are valuable close to you so that we don't have any issues with them being taken. Any costs or damage to your hotel room will be the responsibility of the team. We'll be sure to make the teams aware of that as well. And then try to think, if you can encourage your teams to try to think of questions to ask facilitators ahead of time at sessions so that they can make the most of their time, that would be really great. Just thinking of, what are the key things that they're looking to take away from the World Pitch Summit, whether it's, what's it like to have a career in technology? What are the biggest challenges you face? What's your advice on next steps for me to take in order to get that type of career? It's just really good for them to have, 2 or 3 questions in their back pocket that they can make sure that they ask during the panel sessions or keynotes or Q&A sessions so that we can make sure that the girls are making the most of their experience. And then also just want to make sure that everyone's keeping an open mind. Many of the apps that are developed for Technovation and the World Pitch Competition are addressing issues that might seem, that we might not understand, that are sort of reflective of the problems that exist in certain people's communities. So just encouraging teams to keep an open mind and ask questions and seek understanding about apps and sort of why girls address certain problems and how those problems exist in their community. Just that overall is just, get to know each other and really understand the types of problems and apps that the girls are developing so that we can all leave with a better cultural understanding. And then finally, the dress code. Monday is casual dress. You can wear, jeans and a t-shirt, something casual. Tuesday, everyone will wear their Technovation World Pitch t-shirts that we'll give to the teams, and feel free to wear casual pants or a skirt. Wednesday will be casual for the daytime visits, and then the pitch competition. Many teams try to coordinate their outfits or wear something more professional, so keep that in mind. And then similar for Thursday will be casual dress for the conference, but then similarly, sometimes teams try to coordinate outfits or wear something more professional for ceremony.
Okay, so I have a question regarding the outfit that the finalists will wear. So if they have a T-shirt for their team, that's not something that they're going to wear for the pitch competition. So they should wear something different. So if they have a T-shirt with their logo of their app.
Yeah, they can definitely wear their team logo T-shirt. That's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what I understand is that usually that's not what the girls are wearing. So they probably wear that during the day, but during the competition they'll wear something different. Is that what I am?
No, I would say that a lot of times teams will wear their team T-shirts at the pitch competition and coordinate their outfits in that way. Some teams plan to do that. Other teams plan to wear more professional dress. It's really up to the team.
Okay.
I'm just sort of sharing what's been done before.
Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions about the dress code? Cool. That brings us to the end of the presentation. So are there any other final questions or comments or concerns that we can address?
No, for me, as I mentioned, the only thing is how to get access to the score of the team. So if there's any specific thing that they need to work out, if I can have access to that. So I don't know if I can spend some time after that with you, or just if you send me an email so I can download it and have access to it. That would be perfect for me.
Sure thing. Yep. Cristal will be in touch with that information following the call.
Okay. Okay, great.
Any other questions? Wonderful. Thank you all so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it. And feel free to reach out to us at worldpitch@technovationchallenge.org. We're happy to
I just have a last question.
Sure.
Just sorry. Because I know that you mentioned that you would change the logo. So I was wondering when will we have this new identity? Because I see in the beginning of your PowerPoint presentation, you still have the Technovation with the young girl. So is this but you changed the visual identity seems to have changed a little bit. So is this the final identity? Will we be having the new all the I don't know how to say that, but the logos and the identity and the tool that we can adapt for our own use?
Yeah, so we'll be revealing the new logo at World Pitch. So after the event is when we'll be releasing all of those materials to all of the teams and regional ambassadors across our network with the branding guidelines and all of that stuff.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that's it for me.
Great. Excellent. Thank you so much. And reach out if you have any other questions. We'll be sending out the recording of this session along with the slides after probably this afternoon at some point. So you can look out for that and refer back if anything else comes up, or feel free to email us and we'll be in touch. And we'll see you all in, 2.5 weeks. Should be great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.